Ahoy hoy, ladies and gents and others. Before we begin, I'd like to talk about... You may have noticed that on the front of the covers, sometimes, right where the barcodes used to be on the comic covers, you will see STC3. This is in reference to the people that archived the original issues way back after the comic was out of print. This STC archive was very important to preserving the comic as a whole, and if it wasn't for them, we'd have no show here because the comics are not in paperback form. So big props to the people that did it. You have my gratitude. However, issues 76 and 77 were in very poor quality when I found them on archive.org, so I assume these are either older scans or made by someone else. So I was able to get my hands on better scans, which were provided by a friend of the show who would prefer to remain anonymous, who found them online. So thanks to them for bringing me the high quality stuff. For issues 73 to 76, all the A stories are disconnected. We got Spinball Wizard, Mission to the Metropolis Zone, Smokey and the Badnik, and The Big Decision. Could a member of the cast be leaving? For the B stories, it's Knuckles again, with Knuckles, Echidna, and the New Emerald. And the first 3 parts of the 6th part, Knuckles, Echidna, and the Ghost Ship. The C stories is the 4-part Tales, Fox on the Run. Fox on the run, you scream and everybody comes. Run and take a run and hide yourself away. Foxy on the run. Sorry for that. Spinball Wizard, art by Keith Page. I don't think I've seen his name pop up before. I think he might be a new guy. Well, new as of 1996. What's going on? Surprise attack by Robotnik? No! It's this week's fan mail. Tails asks if there's anything for him. But nope, they're all for the main man. Tails laments that he wishes one of them could be for him. I guess Sonic has a 6th sense for this because he assumes that Tails will definitely be in danger from all this moping about. Tails goes for a fly in the Carnival Night Zone and arrives first on the scene to clean up the casino.
Well, how nice of you to drop by, Tails. I was looking for a furry little fink to try out my new Spinball Murder Machine.
Spinball Murder Machine?
Sounds kinda dangerous.
The bird that Tails was traveling with immediately flies to get Sonic, who's on a lunch break of sorts. For some reason, Sonic keeps extra pairs of shoes, I guess because he'll run through them eventually, and quickly gets to the Casino Night Zone. All of the Badniks are lined up to blockade Sonic, and all of them go down like dominoes. Quite easily, might I add. Of course, when it's easy, that means it's a trap. Robotnik appears on a giant monitor, which is actually the base for a pinball game. Tails is tied up at the top of the pinball game, and gets a front row seat to Sonic's eventual demise. The pinball machine runs Sonic ragged, and he almost gets pounded by the new pinball ball. Tails somehow manages to get loose from his rope, I assume because of its extra tails, and rolls the pinball into the machine. The machine is destroyed and Sonic and Tails are saved. If only Robotnik didn't underestimate Tails' abilities. They get back to the wagon, and Tails finally gets some fan mail. Nope, it's a fine for overdue library books. What did you expect, Tails? There's only room for one super cool hero on Mobius. Sonic, you're a jackass, man. Up next, Mission to the Metropolis Zone. Sonic, Amy, and Johnny are investigating reports that Commander Brutus has gone AWOL, and therefore they will take advantage of this by infiltrating Metropolis City while they have reduced manpower. They get spotted and attacked by flying patrols. It's not a challenge for Sonic until he gets bonked on the head from the rear. Amy and Johnny are captured, but Amy Rose manages to escape. Meanwhile, back at Citadel Robotnik is mad that he can't find Brutus because he's just gone off the rails. But as a special gift for the grieving Doctor, hey, it's a prisoner, it's Sonic the Hedgehog, plus the rabbit. Oh, they must be losing their touch if they were so easily captured. Or perhaps they were captured on purpose. The intruder alarm has gone off. They allowed themselves to be captured to create a diversion for Amy. It was a ruse. She hacked the computer, accessing all the details for Robotnik's new weapons, and is about to delete them, until one of the soldiers grabs her. The security systems are now activated. There is no escape. If you use traditional exits. Vent ducts are also very helpful, so long as you don't have asthma. They gather dust like hell. Amy quick draws her crossbow and fires, completely missing the soldiers, but she was aiming for the delete button. Sonic breaks through the ventilation shaft. They trash the soldiers and then leave on one of the flying ship things. It's a short and sweet experience. I usually miss out on all the fan mail stuff that gets put into these issues, but look at this one page on the graphic zone. It's Knuckles the Echidna as the Green Power Ranger. I smell a lawsuit coming on. Smokey and the Badnik. A little bear called Smokey lives in Metropolis City. It used to be nice. He used to go to the swimming pool every Saturday. But these were the days before Dr. Robotnik and his Badniks. However, Smokey seems to have found a friend among the Badniks. He hears a smash. He runs to the changing room, which apparently has a skylight, which sounds like it would be bad for privacy. Hey, look, it's Sonic. Sonic's on a trail for Badniks. Have you seen any? Smokey the Bear? No. At least not until a bunch of soldiers storm in the door. Smokey flees and tells his Badnik friend to get out of there. If Sonic finds him, it'll be all over. However, Sonic is a quick study and immediately destroys all the soldiers. He turns the corner to find the Badnik. Get away from the Badnik, Smokey! Sonic missed one soldier and it's firing around the corner. Smokey gets inside the Badnik to be protected. Oh, but Sonic tries to attack the Badnik. I can't remember what the specific Badnik is called. I think it's like a roly-poly thing, I don't know. Time's up, creep. But Smokey emerges from the Badnik. He says, don't destroy him. He was trying to protect him. It's his friend. Friend? Nobody knows Badniks like Sonic does, and they are nobody's friend. If you want to get to him, you have to get through Smokey. It's your choice, Sonic. Citizen Smokey, we need to speak with you. Oh? We've been trying to recover a missing Badnik. Also to suggest you may have information. Yes, he was my best friend. You don't have to worry about him anymore. Sonic smashed him. He said all Badniks had to be destroyed. No exceptions. It's okay, you can come out now. Hey, it's the Badnik. He's not dead at all. What do you want to do today? I don't mind. Hey, I never knew you could talk. You never asked. And now the big decision. What? I'm sorry, Sonic. I just can't go anymore. I quit. What are you talking about, Lewis? We are battling against Robotic, and the survival of the planet Mobius isn't some sort of game. I'm sorry, really. Being held captive by the Brotherhood of Metallix for a month, it was just too much for me. You were always soft, Porker. We're probably better off without you anyway. I guess you're right. Jesus, Sonic, stop being such a prick, man. He's not in a good place right now, and he needs a mental health break. Right, fine. If anyone else gets a bit tired of fighting for Mobius's freedom, be sure to let me know. Sonic pops out for a little bit, and he finds the Chaotix crew. He thought they were gonna do some Badnik smashing today, but they gotta go back to the special zone, because apparently Knack the Weasel / Fang the Sniper / Fang the Hunter, as he's now called, has escaped his prison. One of the other inmates said he had a map of the Sandopolis zone, so he's probably going to be heading to the floating island. Well, if you want to find out what happens to the Chaotix, you gotta read the Knuckles Super Special. Oh, great, an advertisement for another special comic book. That'll be next issue, partners. But while I was reading the ad, Sonic got blasted in the ass. When we heard reports of an illegally parked caravan, we expected travelers, but we've just hit the jackpot. The soldiers have found Sonic's hiding place, and Sonic's about to get blasted. Porker is still in the caravan and he's got to think of something quickly. Sonic is concussed, so he's pretty much useless for now. Porker devises a plan. He finds the power supply that runs through the whole caravan, because it has a power supply for some reason. It's a wagon. and he connects it to the water. The water that all the Badnik soldiers are standing on, and they all get electrocuted. It worked. Nice one, Polka. Sonic apologizes and says that he was wrong, and Porker will now be joining the floating island village in the Mushroom Zone. Keep them safe while Sonic and the rest of the freedom fighters remain on Mobius. And now, Porker Lewis has departed. Let's crack on with Knuckles. This is a short one. The new Master Emerald. Previously, you'll remember that Knuckles had to get a new raw emerald thing in order to make a new Master Emerald, because the last one was destroyed and all the power was put into the head of a robot. Comic books are so stupid, man. Well, his replacement Master Emerald is finally cut and he hooked up the robot to the emerald. Hopefully the power transfer should work. Knuckles really hopes to not need to fight the robot again, because that was one of the toughest fights he ever had. Then the robot starts shooting up its Mountain Dew laser blast. I don't get it. I thought this thing was out of commission. Got to find cover and quickly. It's realized that the emerald is draining its onboard power and is preparing to strike the new emerald. He'll never be quick enough to make it across the floor without being cut down. Rats, if only there was a super fast Hedgehog around when you need one. He's got one shot at this and digs under the hidden palace chamber. As the Guardian robot prepares to get into position, Knuckles bursts from the ceiling, directs the energy blast away from the Chaos Emeralds. However, the robot knocks him down. I guess this is it.
Energy level 6%. Too low to generate power beam.
You can talk? I never thought of you being as a conscious being.
Energy level critical. This unit will terminate in approximately 30 seconds.
Oh no, Knuckles can't let the robot terminate. He's harmless now, so he could just break a bunch of wires before he blows up. With the energy drain halted, the robot is not shutting down.
Energy levels have stabilized. Systems now running on minimum power requirements.
Now Knuckles can finally safely ask the robot, what's the deal with Dr. Zachary? And why was he made by his lost race of Echidna people?
Zachary reprogrammed me to serve only him. The energy drain has now removed his interference.
Now Knuckles can use the equipment inside the Emerald's chamber to examine his memory banks and learn more about his people. Once he fixes everything, that is. Up next is Knuckles and the Ghost Ship. It's Captain Plunder. He's back.
It's no good, Captain. We've got to turn back.
Stay at your post, you scurvy swab. We've come too far to turn and run.
Captain, look.
Hi, Filch. I see it. The ghost of the ship of Tantragor. By crikey, the legends would be true. It really do exist.
Captain, the mast. We're going down. Land ho, Captain.
Land? Don't talk rubbish, lad. We can't see land from this height. Wait, I don't believe it. The floating island. Doing my Captain Plunder voice has killed my vocal cords. Well, at the Mushroom Hill refugee camp, Knuckles has decided to visit an old friend. It's Porker Lewis. This ancient technology is very complicated and totally alien to me. Truth is, I just don't understand it. Yep, that's a new voice we're giving Porker Lewis. You are the one I was sure could help prepare my Emerald Chamber, Porker. Rats, I'll never get all the floating island systems back online. If you'll remember, the floating island was basically a battleship. Knuckles laments that he doesn't even have any diagrams to make the technology work, he just usually guesses. It's a complete MacGyver job. He wishes that he could just get the force fields back online so he can stay safe from Robotnik again. He congratulates Porker on building a successful village. Knuckles, a ship has landed on the floating island to the east of the village. Robotnik, I'll check it out. Porker, do you want to take a look? No, my days as an adventurer are over. All that stuff with the Brotherhood of Metallix was too much for me. Oh no. Well, if it isn't Knuckles, this be good fortune indeed, me old mate, 'cause I've been needing a little favour. It seems that Captain Plunder has offered Knuckles something, as Knuckles is now moving the floating island into position. In lieu of a ship, they use the floating island to locate the ghost ship of Tantragor. Okay, Plunder, I found your ghost ship. It's time for you to hand over those plans of the floating island you say you have. Ah, that is what Plunder offered. Well, he doesn't keep 'em on hand. That would be stupid. For a master pirate, he keeps 'em at the pirate hideaway. Hell, he's got a lot of plans about the floating island. That's how he tried to find the treasure of the Sandopolis zone, as you can previously remember. Plunder and his crew begin to board the ship. Knuckles, we don't be needing any help, lad. I just want to keep an eye on things. There's something fishy about all this. Nobody aboard, Captain. Spread the word. Grab whatever you can find and they be back any minute. They? You said the ship was deserted. Well, that's sort of true. What's Captain Plunder hiding? They make their way into the bowels of the ship. And they found it. The Tantragor idol. All this for a little statue? But it seems their luck has finally run out. Plunder makes it up board topside and finds that some weird snakes have appeared, possibly ghosts, and now they are all slaves to the Tantragor. Restore to us the idol or face the consequences. You said this ghost ship was deserted, Plunder. Just what have you gotten us into, you stupid pirate? The pirates begin to fight against their impending slavery. However, they are easily beaten through the use of magic powers. They try to escape, but the cable gets blasted with a lightning strike. They be the Tantragor. No point even in trying to fight those monsters. Oh no, they're coming. No, I'm too cute to die. Shut your trap, Simpson. Down here, mates. Camp Plunder is trying to find some place to hide on the Tantragor's own ship. They find themselves in some sort of slave-holding bay, where they're keeping all the rest of the slaves. There's nowhere to go, it's time to stand and fight. We be need no fighting, if I can just... Oh, they're here, oh flippin' heck, what are we going to... Return to us the idol, you cannot escape. By crikey, it's working, stand close by me, lads. The idol is not some sort of ordinary doll. It be a teleportation device, which would probably make someone a very feared pirate indeed. You know, basically just the plot of Treasure Planet. Problem is, where the hell are they now? Find the thrilling conclusion to this story next time. And closing off today's Tales, Fox on the Run. I'm not going to stop that. There are still some areas on planet Mobius untouched by the polluting influence of Dr. Robotnik. In the peaceful Spring Flower Zone, Tails was enjoying a stroll until... Buzz Bombers. Yeah, Tails can't enjoy an afternoon off. Thankfully, because we are now, 70 issues into this comic book series, Tails can at least hold his own for a little smidge, and he smashes the Buzz Bombers with ease. The animals are free, and he can just stroll on. Where I'm lost. Turns out this little mouse guy that was trapped inside the Badnik was a child, and Tails offers to bring him home. Where does he live? The Metropolis Zone. But it's a dangerous place and miles away, and he couldn't cope on own. He might need Sonic to... You said you'd help. You promised. Okay. What's your name anyway? Tristram. But everyone calls me Tantrum. Oh well, Tails will just have to fly this little mouse boy back home. Ding! Was that a bullet? Stand right where you are, you varmints. My next shot ain't gonna miss. My name is Flaybite the Bounty Hunter, and I reckon Dr. Robotnik would pay me a fortune for you two critters. Egad, it's a gun-slinging cyborg cowboy. Hey, where have I heard this one before? It seems his revolver has jammed, which doesn't make any sense since it's a revolver. Oh well, you shouldn't have bought one from second hand. So he just gets out his goddamn laser blaster. Tails tells Tantrum to run and watch out for the pits. But oh dear, he fell in the pit anyway. I knows you can fly, Fox, but the only way you're gonna escape my laser blast is by following your buddy into that hole, and even you ain't dumb enough to do that. Well, looks like Tails is dumb enough to do that. It's the start of a new adventure. Tails finds Tantrum alive in the cave, and Tantrum, throws a tantrum because, I thought you were gonna look after me. Well, yeah, but you sort of fell in a hole. Tantrum manages to scream so loud that the cave collapses under the noise, and Tantrum begins to blame Tails for the whole thing. Well, looks like it's the safest place to be while the bounty hunter tracks him. Topside, Fleabite has his new tracker in order to locate where these two are heading. However, he accidentally swaps to some sort of washing powder advert. Tails and Tantrum pass over some sort of lava bridge. Suddenly, before they're attacked by the goddamn worm badnik-looking thing. Tails manages to use his flight to tangle up the little worm before he falls off into the lava. However, the bridge has started to collapse. Tails flies to rescue Tantrum, but unfortunately all that flying from earlier has caused Tails to become exhausted, and he himself begins to fall into the lava. Saved last minute by weird-looking spider badniks. Taken away to their cave to be eaten or something. Why would a badnik need to eat? I mean, they're talking about just eating them and sucking all their juicy bits out. Tails and Tantrum use their bickering over how to eat them to escape. Well, now they don't get to eat anything at all. The fox and the mouse go through the caves and need a place to rest, but Tantrum refuses and starts yelling again because he just wants to go home. What a miserable little shithead. Fortunately, they find a hole looking straight up into daylight. Both climb up and Tails tells Tantrum to watch out for some terrible traps. I can't say the word T too much. Tails reckons this cave system was built by Robotnik, so click. Uh-oh, it's a cave wall. They're closing in. They're gonna get squished. Tails musters up a bit more energy to speed them out of the cave just as it closes. They are pooped, but they are safe. If it wasn't for the bounty hunter, with the gun pointed right at him. Well, Fleabite ties them up and is about to take them all the way to the Metropolis Zone, so he can claim his bounty. Tails tries to distract him, saying that Robotnik would never keep his end of the bargain, which, he never does. Tantrum calls out Fleabite, saying that if he were a real bounty hunter, he'd have a horse or something. Fleabite gets angry with him, and Tails uses that distraction to begin flying and bring Fleabite right into the sky. Darn varmint, I'll blast you out of the sky. Pew pew! And he shoots the rope, falling down to the ground. Dumbass. However, it ain't over, outlaw. Us cats have a knack of landing on our feet. Yeah. Fleabite grabs Tantrum, and it's become a hostage situation. Surrender, outlaw, or I'm pulling the trigger. Tantrum laments. If he hasn't been so selfish, he wouldn't have got us into this situation. Tails, save yourself. Tantrum, remember that scream you used when you were in the cave? That might be real helpful right about now. Tantrum doesn't see why this would be helpful, but he gives it a good scream anyway. And it causes the rocks behind Fleabite to crumble. Fleabite now has a big old bump on his noggin, and Tails and Tantrum make it back to the Metropolis Zone. Mother and child reunited. Hey Tails, maybe I could be your partner on some more adventures. Oh, I don't know about that. Look at the time. I gotta go. And Tails flies away on his next adventure, hoping to never hear a bratty child like that again. And that's all for today, folks. I've no closing remarks of any sort of kind. Ta.